Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions for better health and wellness. And I'm your host, Marsha. I have a question for you. How's your thyroid? Have you checked your thyroid lately? Well, that is today's topic. And before we get started, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And of course, you know I always have a quote for you. And this quote is, "True healing is not the suppression of symptoms, but addressing the root cause." And this is by medical medium thyroid healing. Okay, I just happened to find that. And I like that because it's all about addressing the root cause. It's all about making sure that we pay attention. Remember, I say that to you guys all the time. Yeah, whenever we have any type of things going on in our body is trying to tell us something. And it is not just taking things to suppress it, but it's actually about addressing the root cause. All right. And so today's topic, I'm talking about thyroid health. Okay. The hidden foods wrecking your thyroid, what foods to avoid for optimal health. All right, so what is actually the thyroid? Okay, so the thyroid is actually a gland that's here in our throat, and it's a small butterfly-shaped gland. It's located in the front of the neck, just below the Adam's apple. And, despite its size, the thyroid plays a critical role in regulating many essential functions in the body. All right, it produces hormones, primarily thyroxine, which is T4, and triiodothyronine. I hope I said that right. What is that? Triiodothyronine, T3. Okay, I don't know if I'm forgive me if I'm botching it up. All right, but T3, which has a wide effect on your metabolism, your growth, as well as your development. So what is the purpose, right? What is the purpose of the thyroid? Well, its purpose and function is, one of them is metabolism regulation, right? The thyroid hormones control how our body uses energy, right? And they regulate at a rate where calories are burned, which influences our weight, energy levels, and body temperature. This means that the body helps to determine how fast or slow our body systems work. So that's important, okay? And everyone's metabolism is different, very different, all right? Number 2 is growth and development. Thyroid hormones are very important for normal growth in children and the development of the brain and the nervous system during pregnancy and in early childhood. So proper thyroid function is crucial for proper mental and physical development of a growing child. All right. And so the third purpose of the thyroid is heart and the circulatory system. The thyroid influences heart rate and blood pressure. It helps to maintain and strengthen the rhythm of the heartbeat, which ensures proper circulation throughout the body, okay? Number 4 is mood and cognitive function. The thyroid does affect the brain function, including memory and concentration. Imbalances in the thyroid hormones can lead to mental fog, depression, or anxiety. So sometimes when we can be feeling depressed, feeling some anxiety, or mental fog, if this is an ongoing thing that lingers, that it doesn't go away, maybe there is a problem with the thyroid, right? This is why we go and get our checkup and our blood work done every year, right, guys? Right, ladies? All right. This is why we do this, and we make sure we check our levels every year. All right. I do my labs every year. All right. So number 5 is reproductive health in women. The thyroid function can affect your menstrual cycle. Did you know that, ladies? Fertility as well as pregnancy outcomes. Okay. Imbalances may lead to irregular periods or difficulty conceiving. Remember, the thyroid regulates those hormones, right? It regulates all the other hormones in our bodies. So I can see where it would, if we having a problem with our thyroid, where you can have a problem with fertility, pregnancy, right? And menstrual cycles. Okay. And so listen, we have to pay attention to our bodies, right? That's why it's important. Your thyroid can also, problems with the thyroid can also affect bone health and when it comes to bone density, and it can prevent conditions like osteoporosis. So we want to make sure that we are doing the right things that we can to protect our thyroid, right? Now, basically, the thyroid serves as a key regulator, right, for our metabolism, right? It affects almost every cell and every organ every cell and organ system in the body, right? So proper thyroid function is essential. It's vital for maintaining energy, maintaining body temperature, energy, and overall health, right? And when the thyroid, there are health conditions, right? When we have hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. And I'm going to go into that. When the body produces too much hormone in the thyroid, it's called hyperthyroidism. And when it's too little, it's hypothyroidism. And it can lead to serious health issues, right? Including weight gain or weight loss, fatigue, mood changes, and more. And I'm going to go over that. So we already talked about metabolism, right? Our metabolisms help control how your body uses energy, right? They regulate the rate in which calories are burned, influencing your energy level, right? And your body temperature. It determines how fast or slow your body works, right? I went over this, right? Growth and development. It's important for normal growth in children, right? So I covered that already. Your heart and your circulatory system, mood and cognitive function, right? This is just a short recap of what we covered so far. Reproductive health, right? It can affect, again, like I said, menstrual cycle, fertility, and pregnancy outcomes, right? As well as bone health. Now, what are some of the things? What are some of the health issues that can come from improper thyroid? What are some of those health issues? Okay. So some of those health issues are, like I mentioned, hypothyroidism. Now, this occurs when the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormones in the body, which can lead to a slow metabolism. And some of the symptoms include fatigue, weight gain, dry skin, cold intolerance, constipation, and depression. And it is often caused by Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune condition where the immune system attacks its own body. So it attacks the thyroid. All right. So this is why I say it's important to get your levels checked, right? So if you notice that maybe that if you do your regular checks, right, you can go into, I guess they have my chart in a lot of places, right? So you can go and you can check your levels and see how your levels are going, right? And if you have any concerns or issues or experience anything, you consult with your doctor, right? So I noticed for me that my levels were a little below. And I noticed from the previous years, it's been getting lower. That's what I noticed. So I was concerned about that. So I called my doctor, scheduled an appointment, and I was able, because the appointment was way in December, and that's too long, right? So if something's going on, I need to know now. So I went and I spoke with the nurse practitioner, and she said, well, it's normal, even though it's slightly below the range, that it's still normal. Everything is okay. Okay. So if that's what she says, okay, but I'm still going to monitor everything myself. I'm still going to monitor symptoms in my body, anything that I feel differently, checking my own thyroid gland. A sign of that too is when you see people with swollen glands, a neck in that area, there's a problem with their thyroid. Right. So, and I'm not saying that's what that is for hypothyroidism. What I'm saying is that area, when you notice that it's swollen, right? When you notice somebody has a puffy neck, they may have an issue with their thyroid gland. All right. So hyperthyroidism. Now, this is a condition where the thyroid is producing too much of the hormone, right? And it speeds up the body's metabolism. And this includes rapid weight loss, increased heart rate, anxiety, irritability, sweating, and heat intolerance, commonly caused by Graves' disease, which is another autoimmune disorder. All right. And we know former talk show host Wendy Williams, right? She suffered and she came out, she spoke about it freely, that she had Graves' disease. Remember the bulging eyes, right? Weight loss, heat intolerance, the bulging eyes. Remember, her eyes bulge somewhat, right? She had the bulging eyes. So she had that. That is what she had. So we need to pay attention to the changes in our bodies when we are experiencing something that's different, things that's not normal, things that you've noticed that's been happening for a period of time. Take notice, right? Take notice. These are the things you want to report and let your healthcare provider know, right? So another one is thyroid nodules. Now, these are lumps or abnormal growths in the thyroid gland. Most thyroid nodules are benign, but some can be cancerous or lead to hypothyroidism if they produce excess thyroid hormone. Okay. Goiter is another one. A goiter is a small abnormal enlargement of the thyroid gland, and it can be caused by iodine deficiency, autoimmune diseases, or thyroid dysfunction. A large goiter can cause difficulty swallowing or even breathing. All right. Another one is thyroid cancer. Now, this one is relatively rare, but thyroid cancer can occur and is often detected as a lump in the neck. Most thyroid cancers are treatable, especially when caught early. All right. So again, pay attention. All we need to do is just pay attention, right? And not always thinking that a pill is going to solve everything, right? Because that only suppresses and hides the symptoms, which comes back once the pill wears off, right? But we need to get to the root cause. So getting to the root cause is the key, right?
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow, feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
Now, thyroiditis, that's number 8. Now, this is the inflammation of the thyroid gland, right? It can be temporary or chronic, and it can result in either hyperthyroidism, or hypothyroidism. Causes include infections, autoimmune conditions, or pregnancy which is known as postpartum thyroiditis. Okay, so postpartum thyroiditis is number 9. This is a temporary thyroid inflammation that occurs in some women after childbirth, right? And it may cause initial hyperthyroidism followed by hypothyroidism, all right? And the last one is congenital hypothyroidism, all right? This is a condition that's present at birth where the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough hormones. If untreated, it can lead to developmental delays, intellectual disabilities. However, early diagnosis and treatment can prevent these complications. So again, remember, early diagnosis is important. Prevention is important. What is some things we can do for prevention? Some things we can do for prevention is getting our yearly checkups, right? Getting our yearly labs done. That is so important. Making sure they test your TSH, testing all of these things, getting a complete full lab work to test your hormones, to test everything. Get everything tested. It's better to be safe than to be sorry, right? We don't want to wait till when it's too late, right? Yearly checkups are important. Let's make sure we get that done. All right. And what else did I want to go over? So I went over pretty much everything with you guys, right? So let's go over some of the foods now. let's go over some of the foods that we need to avoid, right? This is the important part. This is the important piece. Now, people, remember how I'm always talking about eating your fruits and vegetables and staying healthy and coloring your plate? Well, for people who have issues with their thyroid, there are certain foods that they have to avoid. Unfortunately, there are certain foods that they have to avoid, all right, because it does impact the thyroid. So I'm going to go over a list of some foods and food ingredients that can negatively impact the thyroid, okay? So soy-based products, tofu, soy milk, right? I don't even know what this word is. Edamame. I've never even heard of it. Edamame. I guess it's a food ingredient or something. I've never heard of it. I don't recall even ever seeing. I don't know, right? They may interfere with thyroid hormone absorption. So it can prevent absorption, right? Gluten is another one, right? For individuals with Hashimoto's or thyroid-related autoimmune conditions, gluten can trigger inflammation. All right. It can trigger inflammation. So remember that soy-based products and gluten, if you have issues with your thyroid, these are some foods you should not be eating. Now, and I hate to hear this one, but cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, and kale. I love broccoli and I love cauliflower. In excess, now it says in excess, these foods can inhibit thyroid function due to their goitrogenic properties, right? Remember I mentioned about the goiter, right? So processed foods, high in unhealthy fats, refined sugars and additives, food additives, right? Remember, I talked about those additives, those preservatives, things that we use that they use to keep the food preserved to last longer. All of these things are chemicals, right? So we want to try to avoid those things as much as possible, right? It can contribute to inflammation and disrupt the hormone balance. Sugary foods, desserts, soft drinks, excess sugar can also exacerbate the thyroid problems and by promoting insulin resistance and inflammation. So diabetics, of course, you should be avoiding this, right? So if you're diabetic, right, you should be avoiding those sugary foods, right? And processed foods as well, right? Now, excessive caffeine. For those who love to have that caffeine, nothing wrong with it, but excessive caffeine, right? Excessive caffeine, which you may have with your coffee, your energy drinks, whatever, and even tea. Some teas like the green tea contain caffeine, right? So it may overstimulate the thyroid and disrupt sleep patterns. So if you love your green tea like I do, maybe you should try getting the decaf one, right? It still will have the same properties. You can get your decaf, right? Artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, right? These are linked to hormone imbalance and can interfere with the thyroid hormone. It can interrupt its function. Vegetable oils. Now, you see these things in a lot of things. Soybean oils, right? Corn oil, canola oil. These foods that's high in omega-6 fats can contribute to inflammation. And this is what causes a lot of joint pain and inflammation as well for people who suffer with joint pain, right? So foods high in omega-6, such as canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, right? Try changing up your oil, right? Avocado oil, olive oil, right? Switch up your oils. Nitrate-rich foods, such as the processed meat, like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, may inhibit thyroid function by interfering with iodine uptake, okay? So this is why if you're going to eat them as little as possible, right? If you can avoid them, especially if you are suffering or have thyroid issues, you should avoid them altogether, right? Highly processed iodized salt is another one. It can lead to an excess or imbalance of iodine, which negatively affects the thyroid. So you can opt for some natural sea salt, right? Or some Himalayan sea salt, right? Opt for that instead. It's just making simple changes, right? It's just making simple changes in our food choices. That's all it is, guys. We just need to make simple changes in our diet. Okay. Now, I love carbs, just things that I love, right? I love carbs, but I know that I have in excess of carbs that it's not good for me, right? What? It causes weight gain, right? Now, when I went on that 7-day cruise, I didn't care. Did I gain a couple of pounds? I sure did. I will tell you, no lie, I'm on vacation, right? So I ate what I wanted to eat. I didn't monitor it too much. I did what I wanted to do, but it's time to get back on track, right? So it's time to get back on track. Listen, don't judge yourself so harshly. Be patient and give yourself some grace, right? It's not about perfection. It's about doing what we can to do better with our own health, with ourselves, as well as with other people. But we have to work on self first, right? And so it's about what we can do and what we need to do improve with ourselves so that we can help other people, right? So that we can be better moms, better wives, better spouses, better children, better whatever, better sisters, family, friends, cousins, whatever, right? So let's just work on doing better. Let's not strive for perfection, right? Because we're going to make mistakes, right? We're going to make mistakes along the way. We're going to slip along the way. And it happens, right? It's part of the human experience. It's part of us being human, and it's okay. But let's just do what we can to do better. So if you have not gone and had your health check yet for the year, it's not too late. Make that appointment, schedule, get your labs taken, test and see if you've been experiencing any of those symptoms that I mentioned, right? With depression, weight gain, whatever, etc., anxiety, or if you have, maybe you notice that your eyes bulge a little bit more. I don't know, whatever things that you've been feeling that's not right with your body, take note of it. Take note of it, right? And explain when you go to your doctor, explain these things to your doctor, right? To your health practitioner. Let them know what's going on. Only you know what's in your body and how your body feels, right? Only you know that. Only you can experience it because you're living in your body. So, and if you're not satisfied with one doctor is telling you, see another. And with that, listen, if they say everything is okay, but you still feel like something is off, that's why I said, see another, monitor it, right? Monitor what's going on and don't sit and let it linger. Go and see someone else. Speak to maybe a naturopath, a holistic doctor, or someone into integrative medicine, right? Where they don't just follow the Western guidelines, right? It's more integrative with holistic practices, right? So do that. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And until next time, but hey, make sure you are staying healthy, doing what you need to do for yourself. Okay. Your family and friends need you. We love you. I love you. Let's be better and do better. Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.